Have you ever felt dizzy, confused, or experienced a pounding headache? Checked your blood pressure home and seen a number like 170? Maybe you panicked and rushed to the emergency room. But what if I told you that not every high blood pressure reading needs immediate emergency care? Today, I'm going to show you how to correctly check your blood pressure at home and when it's truly a cause for concern. I'll also teach you 5 essential techniques to measure your blood pressure properly, the habits that naturally improve it, and the foods that can support healthier arteries without relying solely on medication. First, it's crucial to understand how blood pressure works. Inside your body, you have a network of vessels called arteries. Think of them like flexible pipes that carry blood, oxygen, and nutrients to every organ. As blood moves through these arteries, it presses against the vessel walls. That pressure is what we call blood pressure. Every heartbeat pushes blood forward, momentarily increasing the pressure against the artery walls. When the heart contracts and pumps blood, it generates what's known as systolic pressure, the higher number on your blood pressure reading. When the heart relaxes between beats, the pressure decreases, and this is known as diastolic pressure, the lower number. If you've ever measured your blood pressure, you've seen 2 numbers, like 125/72. The first 125 is the systolic pressure, indicating how much pressure your blood exerts against your artery walls when the heart beats. The second number, 72, is the diastolic pressure, showing how much pressure remains when your heart rests between beats. Both numbers are essential for understanding cardiovascular health. Now, what defines normal blood pressure? According to medical guidelines, a normal reading is below 120/80 mmHg. If your systolic pressure consistently reads 140 or higher, or your diastolic pressure is 90 or higher, you are classified as hypertensive. Some newer research even suggests that readings starting at 130/80 should be monitored closely. However, having a single high reading doesn't automatically mean you have hypertension. It must be persistently elevated over time. Our bodies are not machines. Your blood pressure changes throughout the day depending on what you're doing. Climbing stairs, experiencing stress, drinking coffee, or even feeling nervous at a doctor's appointment can temporarily raise your blood pressure. This is normal. It's your body responding to the situation by delivering more oxygen and nutrients where they're needed. Temporary spikes are expected and not necessarily dangerous. What matters is whether your pressure stays high even when you're resting. Here's something important. If you take your blood pressure after exercising, during emotional stress, or while you're actively talking or moving, it's likely going to be higher. For instance, if you measure 140/90 immediately after physical activity, that's a normal adaptive response, not a sign of disease. Over time, regular exercise actually helps lower your resting blood pressure. However, many people make a critical mistake. They buy a home monitor, check their blood pressure during stressful moments, see elevated numbers, and rush to the ER unnecessarily. Worse, some might be prescribed medications they don't actually need because of one inaccurate measurement. That's why today I want to teach you how to measure your blood pressure correctly. When using a home monitor, follow these essential rules. First, always measure with your upper arm bare, never over clothing. If you're wearing a long sleeve, roll it up loosely or remove it completely. The cuff should fit snugly but not too tight or loose, with a tube line along the inside of your arm where a major artery runs. Make sure the bottom edge of the cuff is about 2 finger widths above the elbow. You should be seated comfortably with your back supported and feet flat on the floor, without crossing your legs. Your arms should be resting on a flat surface at heart level. Very importantly, avoid talking, drinking coffee, smoking, or eating for at least 30 minutes before checking your blood pressure. Sit quietly for 3 to 5 minutes before starting the measurement. If you speak, move, or are emotionally upset while checking, your reading may be falsely high. Let me give you an example. If I were to measure my blood pressure while speaking, feeling excited and moving, it might show something like 154/83, even though my usual resting pressure is around 110/70. Does that make me hypertensive? Absolutely not. It's a reflection of the moment, not my true baseline. This is why you must take your pressure properly. Ideally, measure it twice daily, once in the morning before eating or taking medication, and once at night before bed. Take 2 readings each time and record the average. Do this for at least 5 to 7 consecutive days, and then share the data with your doctor. This provides a more accurate picture of your real blood pressure rather than a random, isolated spike. Many people ask whether they should measure on the right or left arm. Generally, there's no major difference. However, it's often recommended to measure on the non-dominant arm for convenience. So, if you're right-handed, measure on your left arm. Once you pick an arm, stick to the same one for consistency. Another important point, don't obsess over checking your pressure multiple times a day outside of a structured plan. Monitoring it too frequently can increase your anxiety, which, ironically, may elevate your readings. Unless your doctor instructs you otherwise, once you confirm stability, you only need to check it periodically, every few months or during routine checkups. Now, let's talk about the type of device you should use. Not all blood pressure monitors are created equal. Wrist monitors, for example, are often inaccurate. Always use a validated upper arm monitor for the most reliable readings. To check if your device is validated, you can search online for the validated blood pressure devices list published by organizations like the American Heart Association. Choose one that appears on that list. Learning to correctly measure your blood pressure is vital. However, just knowing how to measure isn't enough. You must also understand when a high reading is a true emergency and when it's a false alarm caused by poor technique or temporary factors. Many people experience what's known as white coat hypertension, where blood pressure spikes temporarily in clinical settings due to anxiety. This is well documented and does not necessarily indicate chronic hypertension. Now that you understand the basics of measuring your blood pressure correctly, let's explore the real warning signs that may signal a serious problem requiring immediate medical attention. Knowing these signs can help you act quickly when it's necessary and avoid unnecessary trips to the emergency room when it's not. First, if your blood pressure reading is extremely high, over 180 systolic or over 120 diastolic, and you are experiencing symptoms such as chest pain, shortness of breath, severe headache, vision changes, confusion, or weakness in one side of the body, this could be a hypertensive crisis. In these cases, you must seek emergency medical care immediately. These symptoms suggest that high blood pressure may be damaging vital organs like your brain, heart, or kidneys. Delaying treatment could have devastating consequences. However, if your blood pressure is elevated but you feel fine, it's often safer to stay calm. Sit quietly and retake the measurement after 5 minutes of rest. Many temporary factors, stress, caffeine, physical activity, even talking, can cause spikes that resolve on their own with rest. Jumping into emergency care without symptoms may expose you to unnecessary medications, stress, and costs. Another crucial point to remember is that high blood pressure often produces no symptoms at all. That's why it's called the silent killer. Many individuals live for years with dangerously high blood pressure without feeling sick, only discovering the problem after a heart attack, stroke, or kidney failure. Regular, calm monitoring at home is the best strategy to detect hypertension early and prevent catastrophic events. Now, let's shift to prevention. Managing blood pressure isn't just about medications. It's heavily influenced by your daily habits and diet. One of the biggest culprits in uncontrolled hypertension is excessive sodium intake. While sodium is an essential mineral your body needs, most Americans consume far more than necessary, sometimes double or triple the recommended amount. Here's the truth. 1 teaspoon of table salt contains about 2,300 milligrams of sodium, which is already more than the American Heart Association's ideal limit of 2,300 milligrams per day for most adults. The main issue isn't just the salt you sprinkle on your food. It's the hidden salt in processed and packaged foods. Items like canned soups, deli meats, frozen meals, snack foods, and restaurant meals are packed with sodium, even when they don't taste salty. For example, a single cube of commercial bouillon, commonly used to flavor soups and stews, can contain over 2,500 milligrams of sodium, your entire daily limit, in just one small piece. If you add that to a meal already containing salty ingredients like cheese, ham, or bread, your sodium intake skyrockets without you even realizing it. Reducing sodium intake is one of the fastest and most powerful ways to lower blood pressure naturally. Start by minimizing processed foods and cooking fresh meals at home. Use herbs, spices, lemon, garlic, and vinegar to add flavor without salt. When you do use salt, measure it carefully, preferably no more than half a teaspoon per day. Learning to read nutrition labels is also crucial. Always check the sodium line and aim for foods that have less than 140 milligrams of sodium per serving. You might wonder about specialty salts like Himalayan pink salt, sea salt, or gourmet salts marketed as healthier alternatives. While they may contain trace minerals like magnesium or potassium, they are still primarily sodium chloride and behave the same way in your body. They are not magic solutions. Moderation remains key, regardless of the type of salt you choose. Completely eliminating sodium from your diet is neither necessary nor healthy. Sodium plays a vital role in nerve function, muscle contraction, and fluid balance. The goal is to consume an appropriate amount, not to eliminate entirely. Natural foods like fruits, vegetables, meats, and dairy already contain some sodium, so even without adding salt, your body typically gets enough. In addition to managing sodium, boosting your potassium intake can significantly improve blood pressure control. Potassium helps balance out the negative effects of sodium by promoting relaxation of blood vessel walls and helping the body eliminate excess sodium through urine. Foods rich in potassium include bananas, sweet potatoes, spinach, avocados, beans, and yogurt. Focusing on whole, unprocessed foods naturally increases your potassium intake while lowering sodium at the same time. A double benefit for your heart health. Another critical lifestyle factor is maintaining a healthy body weight. Carrying extra pounds forces your heart to work harder, increasing the strain on your arteries. Even modest weight loss, losing just 5% to 10% of your body weight, can have a powerful effect on lowering blood pressure. Regular physical activity is equally important. Aim for at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity exercise, like brisk walking, each week. Exercise not only strengthens the heart, but also improves the flexibility of your blood vessels, making it easier for blood to flow with less resistance. Stress management is another essential component of blood pressure control. Chronic stress triggers hormonal responses that keep your blood vessels constricted and your blood pressure elevated. While you can't eliminate stress entirely, you can develop healthier ways to respond to it. Techniques like deep breathing, meditation, yoga, regular physical activity, and maintaining strong social connections all help lower stress and, by extension, your blood pressure. Alcohol and tobacco use also deserve mention. Both substances have a direct harmful effect on blood pressure. If you drink alcohol, limit it to 1 drink per day for women and 2 drinks per day for men. If you smoke, seek support to quit as soon as possible. Quitting smoking has immediate and long-term benefits for your heart and arteries. Let's not forget the importance of sleep. Poor sleep quality and sleep disorders like sleep apnea are strongly associated with high blood pressure. Adults should aim for 7 to 9 hours of restful sleep per night. If you snore loudly, wake up feeling tired, or struggle with daytime sleepiness, it's worth discussing with your doctor, as treating sleep disorders can dramatically improve blood pressure control. Now that you understand how sodium, potassium, and lifestyle habits affect your blood pressure, it's time to explore the powerful role of specific foods and daily practices that act as natural protectors for your arteries. Incorporating these strategies into your routine can strengthen your cardiovascular system, improve your energy levels, and significantly reduce your long-term risk of heart disease and stroke. Let's begin with foods that have been scientifically proven to support healthy blood pressure. One standout group is leafy green vegetables. Spinach, kale, Swiss chard, and arugula are rich in potassium, magnesium, and nitrates, which help blood vessels relax and improve circulation. Consuming a serving of leafy greens daily can make a measurable difference in your blood pressure over time. Berries are another potent ally. Blueberries, strawberries, and raspberries are packed with antioxidants called flavonoids, which have been linked to lower blood pressure levels. Eating just a handful of berries a few times a week provides not only vital nutrients, but also protection against oxidative stress that can damage your arteries. Beets and beet juice have received special attention in recent studies for their high nitrate content. Nitrates naturally convert into nitric oxide in the body, which relaxes blood vessels and improves blood flow. Drinking a small glass of beet juice daily or adding roasted beets to your meals can result in modest but meaningful reductions in systolic and diastolic blood pressure. Oats also deserve a place on your table. Rich in a type of fiber called beta-glucan, oats help improve blood vessel function and lower cholesterol levels, both of which contribute to better blood pressure control. Starting your morning with a bowl of plain oatmeal, not the highly processed, sugar-laden varieties, is a simple and powerful habit. Garlic is another ancient remedy backed by modern science. Compounds in garlic, particularly allicin, promote blood vessel relaxation and improve blood flow. Adding fresh garlic to your meals several times a week is an easy, natural way to support heart health. If you prefer supplements, be sure to choose those standardized for allicin content to get the most benefit. Fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, sardines, and trout are loaded with omega-3 fatty acids, which help lower inflammation, reduce blood clotting, and relax blood vessels. Aim to eat fatty fish at least 2 times per week. If fish isn't your preference, plant-based sources like flaxseed, chia seeds, and walnuts also provide valuable omega-3s. Dark chocolate lovers, take note. Small amounts of dark chocolate, particularly those with at least 70% cocoa content, have been shown to improve blood vessel function and reduce blood pressure slightly. Of course, moderation is key. A small square or 2 per day is enough to gain benefits without consuming too much sugar or fat. In addition to incorporating these heart-healthy foods, there are key daily routines that can amplify your results. First, prioritize hydration. Dehydration causes blood vessels to constrict, raising blood pressure. Drinking sufficient water throughout the day helps maintain optimal blood volume and keeps your circulatory system working efficiently. Second, practice deep breathing exercises daily. Simple techniques, like inhaling slowly through the nose for 4 seconds, holding the breath for 4 seconds, and exhaling through the mouth for 6 seconds, can activate your parasympathetic nervous system. This relaxation response reduces heart rate and lowers blood pressure naturally. Just 5 minutes per day can make a measurable difference over time. Third, develop a consistent sleep schedule. Going to bed and waking up at the same times daily strengthens your body's internal clock, known as a circadian rhythm. A healthy circadian rhythm is associated with better cardiovascular outcomes and more stable blood pressure throughout the day and night. Fourth, consider reducing your caffeine intake if you are sensitive to its effects. While moderate coffee consumption is not harmful for most people, excessive caffeine can cause temporary spikes in blood pressure, especially in those who are more sensitive. If you notice significant increases in your readings after drinking coffee or energy drinks, it may be worth cutting back. Fifth, manage screen time and digital stress. Constant exposure to emails, news alerts, and social media can subtly increase anxiety and stress hormones, keeping your blood pressure elevated without you even realizing it. Create digital boundaries by setting specific times for checking messages and spending more time on offline activities like reading, gardening, or walking outdoors. Another powerful strategy is building movement into your day, even outside of formal exercise. Research shows that long periods of sitting are detrimental to blood pressure and heart health. Aim to stand up and move for at least 5 minutes every hour, walking around the house, doing a few stretches, or taking a quick stroll outside keeps blood circulating and prevents vascular stiffness. Moreover, never underestimate the value of mindfulness practices. Simple moment of gratitude, meditation, or prayer each day can reset your mental state and lower stress levels significantly. Mental well-being is deeply connected to heart health, and nurturing it daily is one of the most overlooked but impactful habits. Now, many people ask about supplements. While lifestyle and nutrition should always come first, certain supplements have evidence supporting their role in blood pressure management. Magnesium supplements, for example, can be beneficial for individuals with low dietary intake, helping relax blood vessels. Coenzyme Q10, an antioxidant found naturally in the body, has shown potential to reduce systolic and diastolic blood pressure when taken consistently. Always consult your healthcare provider before adding new supplements to ensure they fit your personal health needs. It's also important to talk about alcohol alternatives. Reducing alcohol doesn't mean giving up social experiences. Herbal teas, Sparkling water with lemon or mocktails made with natural ingredients can replace traditional alcoholic beverages without the negative impact on blood pressure. Choosing heart-healthy beverages supports your goals without sacrificing enjoyment. The bottom line is that small daily choices accumulate into powerful, lasting change. You don't need to overhaul your life overnight. Start by adding more leafy greens to your plate, walking 10 more minutes each day, or practicing deep breathing before bed. Layering these habits gradually builds momentum and leads to real, sustainable improvements in your health. As we wrap up this deep dive into blood pressure control, it's critical to address some of the most persistent myths that continue to mislead millions. Understanding the truth will empower you to make smarter decisions and avoid common traps that sabotage progress. One of the biggest myths is that high blood pressure always causes noticeable symptoms. As we discussed earlier, hypertension is often silent. Waiting for signs like headaches, dizziness, or heart palpitations before taking action is a dangerous mistake. By the time symptoms appear, significant damage may have already occurred. Regular monitoring, even when you feel perfectly fine, is the safest way to stay ahead. Another widespread myth is that if your blood pressure is normal while taking medication, you're cured and can stop treatment. In reality, medications control blood pressure. They do not cure hypertension. Stopping your medication without medical supervision can cause dangerous rebounds, putting you at serious risk for a heart attack or stroke. Always work closely with your healthcare provider if you wish to adjust or eventually reduce medication. Many also believe that young people don't need to worry about blood pressure. This is false. Hypertension can develop at any age, especially with the modern diet high in processed foods and sedentary lifestyles. Detecting elevated blood pressure early gives you the chance to make changes before complications arise. Prevention always beats crisis management. There's also confusion about safe numbers. Some individuals believe that systolic pressures between 130 and 140 are acceptable because they're close enough to normal. But research shows that even these mildly elevated numbers increase your risk of heart disease over time. It's not about achieving perfection overnight, but recognizing that even slight improvements in your readings can make a significant difference in your long-term health. A very common myth is that natural remedies alone are enough for everyone. While lifestyle changes are powerful, and for many people, they can dramatically lower blood pressure, they are not a substitute for medical care when needed. Some individuals, especially those with genetic predispositions or secondary causes of hypertension, will still require medication despite their best efforts with diet and exercise. The best approach is a combination of smart lifestyle choices and appropriate medical management when necessary. Another misunderstanding is that once you've improved your blood pressure, you can abandon your healthy habits. Blood pressure management is a lifelong commitment. Just like fitness or nutrition, consistency is key. Returning to old habits can undo all your hard-earned progress quickly. Finally, let's debunk the idea that only extreme measures make a difference. You don't have to run marathons, become a vegetarian, or eliminate every indulgence to protect your heart. Small, sustainable changes, like eating more vegetables, walking daily, managing stress, and sleeping well, build momentum over time. Each healthy decision strengthens your arteries and improves your resilience. By now, you have a full toolkit. You know how to properly measure your blood pressure. You recognize when a high reading is truly an emergency. You understand how sodium, potassium, and specific foods influence your heart health. You have daily routines to protect your arteries, and you can separate myths from science. This knowledge puts you in the driver's seat of your own health. You are no longer at the mercy of fear, misinformation, or random guesses. You have the power to take action, track your progress, and build a healthier future. Before you go, I'd love for you to take one simple step. Share in the comments one small habit you're going to start today to support your blood pressure. Maybe it's drinking more water, adding spinach to your lunch, taking a 10-minute walk, or practicing deep breathing before bed. Your commitment could inspire someone else reading today. If you found this video helpful, make sure to hit the like button to let me know. Subscribe if you haven't already, so you won't miss the next videos, where we'll dive even deeper into practical health tips, easy recipes, and powerful daily routines to keep your body strong and vibrant. Remember, even the smallest positive action today can create huge waves of change in your future. You have the tools. You have the knowledge. Now, it's time to apply them and take control of your health journey. One step, one habit, one day at a time. Stay strong, stay proactive, and I'll see you in the next video.